Now, it's interesting that you start talking about sulfur and nitrogen relationships. Have you any understanding of the calcium nitrogen relationship?
Oh,
That's another.
I we've been no, I'm going to say no because I look at calcium differently than I look at nitrogen. So and I look at calcium at very specific times in a plant's stage of growth, especially cell division. I'm a little bit narrow-minded and I need to be better, but normally when everybody comes awake in the springtime, it's all about calcium and it's all about where your window is for cell division. I mean, cherries, unfortunately, have a very, very short cell division, 10 days, 2 weeks. And, avocados are like kings. They're 3 months, right? I mean, you can just be as slow as you want getting the calcium out there. So when I talk about calcium, I talk to growers, it's really trying to get it into your stage of growth. That cell division window is so important for large acre ag because you can push in a ton of calcium, but if you miss that cell division window, gracious, you could be wasting a lot of money.
Good answer. Great answer. Yeah, and again, it's like there's nothing hard about the discussion of the relationship between calcium and nitrogen specifically, although Steiner, biodynamics, Rudolf Steiner, had hinted to there being a relationship between them. In some of the work that I've done in trying to slow down the thermophilic effects of compost to hold some of that nitrogen back, because as you well know, it either gases off in an ammoniacal form or in a methane form. So we want to try to hold that nitrogen in. And so I started playing around with calcium in fresh composting making. And I did see that it did, in fact, slow that process down. So that's why I was kind of, sussing out that relationship to see if you knew anything more about it. Because there's so few people that can have that kind of conversation.
Well, the other main function of calcium in the plant that people sometimes overlook is what you might be alluding to, is that calcium, of course, is for cell walls quality and structure, but calcium is also the master communication nutrient. So if you don't have enough calcium, your plant has a hard time communicating with what its needs are via the roots. And so usually when calcium increases, all the other nutrients increase, whether you have supplied it or not. And I see it time and time and time again. And it's just because the communication lines are being increased.
So calcium is the gateway drug.
It is master communicator of all nutrients.
I love it. I fucking love it.